Jen.
And I'm Joe.
And we're Jen and Joe.
On the go. How are you, Jen?
I'm good, Joe. Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving.
Cheers. I'm running low. Running out of juice.
You might have to go get a refill.
Might have to get a refill. I'm drinking Jameson.
So if you're following along, our last video was boycotting Thanksgiving, decorating for Christmas, and a huge trip announcement. So in this video, we're going to talk about our pre-trip report to Walt Disney World.
Yeah, we're going back to Disney, kids.
That was not my idea. This was Joe's.
True.
Well, actually, it was Ariane and Steve's fault. And Steve kept lighting the fire and poking the bear. So Joe gave in.
Yeah. Not that it took much to give in.
It really didn't.
It really didn't. Let me just say this. The whole idea of going back to Orlando and Disney, not high on the list.
No.
Because we've done it a gazillion times. Nothing against Disney. This isn't a Bash Disney vlog at all. But we've just done it a lot, you know?
Yeah, and we had said we weren't going to go back for a while, so we apologize. This was not in the cards.
But realistically, we did Mexico. We did go to Florida in July.
We did. We went to San Diego.
And then we went to San Diego, California, Disney trip, or the Disney cruise, and then Disneyland.
Yes.
So it was Disney, but it was California Disney.
It was things
different.
that I hadn't done and some things that you hadn't done.
Right, exactly. So that was all fine and good. To go back to Orlando was really not planned. But again, you know, like Steve's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, fine, let's do it. Because I don't know when we're going to get to see them next year. Hopefully maybe in the spring, but we don't know.
We do have, hopefully you'll all forget, but we are going back to Mexico with them next fall.
They'll forget.
We have booked that. We are going to go back to Xcaret, but we're going to do the Arte side, the adults only side.
Yeah.
But that's a video way in the future. Videos way in the future. But we're going to talk about our pre-trip report to Disney World. This was not planned. We honestly had no desired or plans to go back until maybe sometime next year, or maybe not even until 2025. Because we are being honest, we needed a break. We've done it a lot throughout the years. We've stayed at almost every Disney hotel multiple times. And by multiple times, I mean we've stayed at French Quarter over 10 times. We've stayed at Wilderness Lodge over 10 times. The only hotels we have not stayed in are All-Star Sports, the Boardwalk Inn, and Caribbean Beach. And those are 3 resorts I don't even have the desire to stay in. So
I've always wanted to stay at Boardwalk though.
You know, I wanted to until they did the whole refurb in the lobby, and now it looks like IKEA or any other Hilton. It just doesn't have that that niche.
Again, this isn't a Bash Disney video, but it's par for the course when it comes to Disney and the imagination side of things when it comes to
and you know,
Disney.
We are always going to be honest with you. I know, and I'm going to keep this very brief because we didn't go, but I guess the whole, if you've been following around with Disney, they added a new Christmas party this year called Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios. It's received a lot of criticism, and it just irks me, and I'm not going to call out anyone, but it irks me when the vloggers know how bad it is. They've experienced it. They try to sugarcoat it. They say how great it is because they have media passes. Disney has paid for their ticket. And Joe and I had always vowed that we were never going to be that way. When something is good with Disney, we will tell you it's good 100%. But if something is bad at Disney, we are going to be honest with you because Disney is so expensive. And you deserve to have a great vacation, and if something is not good, you deserve to know about it. These tickets were very expensive. It was a 4-hour after hours ticket. Disney did not deliver. So anyway, we are always going to be honest with you. We are excited to go back. I mean, I do love Disney for the holidays. Christmas is a very magical time at Disney. Do I think you should go during Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. That's a worst time to go. It's just so crowded. But anyway, we're going to talk about our pre-trip report. We are going for 4 nights.
Yes.
4 nights, 5 days to, and we are staying at Joe.
We're staying at Coronado Springs Destino Tower again, because that is really, truly, honestly, one of my favorites.
I don't know. It's really, Wilderness Lodge was always our go-to resort, always our favorite resort, but I don't know. Destino Tower is,
so one of the things,
pretty perfect in my eyes.
One of the things is the value that you get for what you're paying. And Disney, like we say, is very expensive. Mm-hmm. It is more expensive than things outside of Disney.
You can now go to Europe for cheaper than you can go to Disney.
Pretty much. just staying at a hotel, if you stay outside of the Disney bubble, you can get stuff for cheaper.
Sure.
But if you look at within the Disney bubble, Destino Tower has a lot more room within the rooms at a much more affordable price.
It's considered a moderate resort, but it has all the deluxe feels.
Yes, absolutely.
And we have stayed there, I think, 5 times now.
Yeah, it's half a dozen at least, something like that. Yeah.
So
really like it. Destino Tower. Most of the time we get a lake view because they have the different lakes in the back.
We always get a lake view.
But this time we're not.
We're doing a standard view, which is the front of the resort, and you have views of, you can see Epcot, you can see Hollywood Studios, Galaxy's Edge, you can see like the top of Everest. You can see, yeah. So we were trying to keep this on a more affordable level this time because this was totally not planned, and our California trip was very expensive in the grand scheme of things. But Destino Tower, the rooms are just a great size. You have a sitting area, you've got your bed, nice big bathroom. Now I will say if you're traveling with children, the only downside is these rooms do not have bathtubs. They only have showers.
Right, true.
You know, but that doesn't affect Joe and I because we don't have any little kids.
And you do have a sofa sleeper, but not anything extra. Like some of the rooms will have a pull-down twin-size bed that pulls out of the wall. You know, so this doesn't have that. It does have the sofa sleeper, so you could sleep 4 in this larger room. Yeah. 1 bathroom with the stand-up shower, which is really great. I love the shower.
And then it's got a separate toilet area.
Yeah.
It has like floor to ceiling windows. I know the lake rooms, Lakeview rooms had those. I believe the front of the hotel has those too.
I would think, yeah. We'll
but
find
I
out.
don't know. It's just, and you can usually, if you can find a Disney discount, book it for $250 to $350-ish a night, depending on your view, which I think for Disney, that's a great price, especially when you walk in and it feels like you're in a deluxe resort.
Yeah, it's just much more room.
It is the only moderate resort that has a concierge level. Yeah. Which we've never done. I would like to do that in the future. So I'm really excited to go. Back in July, we were given 2 park hopper tickets for an issue we had at the Wilderness Lodge, which again, we don't need to talk about. I think we addressed it in another video, and they were more than generous and kind enough to give us 2 hopper passes. So we're going to use those to go to Epcot to Festival of the Holidays, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway,
well, I wanted to say about Destino as well, that at Coronado Springs, they have a lot of restaurants and bars.
Yes.
A lot. And good places too. Yes. So if you stay on property to eat and drink, you're fine.
Yeah,
you're
you've got Dahlia Lounge, you've got Toledo, you've got Rick's Cafe, you've got Maya Grill, you've got the food court, which I can't think of the name of it right now, and you've got 3 Bridges.
And also
a couple margarita stands outside.
Yeah, and then the coffee bar downstairs.
Oh, Barcelona
Lounge. Yeah.
I mean, you honestly, if I was going to do, and we basically did this in July, if you're going to do a staycation and you're not planning on going to the parks, Destino Tower and Coronado Springs, it has it all. You honestly don't have to leave your resort.
The pool is actually really very nice.
And the quiet pools are awesome.
Right, so they have the big main pool and then a couple of quiet pools. So
it's the dig site pool.
Yeah.
The big one, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, overall, this has been, we've had good experiences there. So, all right, so we're staying there. Very happy about that. Stephen and Ariane and also Chloe and Dan are staying there as well. Yes. So the original plan was to meet up with Stephen and Ariane. Great find. They're down there. I'll go down to spend time with them. So the simple fact that it's at Disney, fine, whatever. If it would have been somewhere else, we would have gone to see them somewhere else. But we're at Disney, so that's all good and fine. Then, as you were having the conversation with Chloe and Dan were set to arrive the day we were leaving.
Yes, and now they're coming in our last day so they could spend some time with us.
So they're coming in Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So not Monday. They're coming in on Tuesday. And we come back home on Wednesday. So we'll get to see them for part of that day on Tuesday.
And meet their new baby, Juniper.
Yes, yes. So I'm very excited about that as well. So that's cool.
We actually leave a week from Saturday, and today is Thanksgiving, so we leave in 9 days.
Yeah.
9 days, and they're going to fly by. So our flight takes off on Saturday, December 2nd. We have a very early flight, which I know, again, we sound like such hypocrites. We always say we're not going to do the early flight. We're not going to do the early flight. And somehow we always book the early flight.
Well, I think this one's at 7, so it's
that's
not as
considered
early
because we're probably going to have to get up at 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, which we're going to be tired.
Well, yeah, possibly give or take around that time. Yeah.
So
3,
anyway,
3:30.
the funny thing is too, like sometimes things happen for a reason in their fate. Ariane and Steve's flight literally lands the same time as our flight.
Yeah.
And we are all set to leave on the same day.
Well, yeah. So that'll be good because when we went to California, we didn't rent a car. We got an Uber just because of the way that trip went. Usually I'll rent a car.
Yeah.
We were back and forth on this one, but we did rent a car. So I'm going to have a car, which is going to be really, really nice because we could all just
We just have to figure
together.
out, I think they're going to end up landing in the new C terminal and we're most likely going to be in B. So...
Which means then once I get the car, we'll just drive
have
over
to,
and pick them up.
Yeah, we'll just have
that's
to.
all.
So anyway, it was fate for this to happen too because I didn't even know where they were staying. And she's like, "Oh my God, we're at Destino Tower," and so it's all happened for a reason. It's meant to be.
Right.
So. Assuming everyone's flight is on time, we all land and we get our luggage. We should be going right to Wilderness Lodge to have lunch with our son Tim and his girlfriend Lacey and Ariane and Steve. We're gonna grab a quick lunch at Whispering Canyon Cafe, kick back a couple cocktails.
Perhaps maybe if we have time, hop over to Geyser Lounge and have a little cocktail
Geyser
there.
Point.
What did I say?
Geyser Lounge. Territory Lounge.
Territory Lounge. Yeah, we're just going to put the two together.
Yeah, it's
Territory
fine.
Lounge and Geyser Point. We'll go to Geyser Point to have a drink or two there.
Then hopefully
Perhaps.
our rooms will be ready on the earlier side because it is our friend Billy's birthday.
Yeah.
And although I'm not excited about this, it is her birthday and she has every right to pick what she wants to do. Well, she has picked to go to Jelly Rolls, which is a dueling piano bar at the Boardwalk Resort where Joe and I have never been.
Yeah. So.
I'm not a big fan. I would have preferred a quieter night, but it's her birthday. She gets to choose and who knows, maybe it'll be a new great thing for us.
Well, I was going to say, we've never been there before. We've never
haven't.
done a video there before. So we can go and just, again, kick back, have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
We're with friends. It doesn't matter where we're going to be.
Yeah.
You're with friends. So that is the
Exactly.
priority. That is the focus of it all.
Yes.
And so we'll just kick back and maybe, because it's new, maybe we'll like it. You never know.
I'm
So,
sure we won't
let's
stay
go and
out
have some
too
fun.
late because we're going to be tired.
Well, yeah, but I just want to say, too, something like over at Fort Wilderness. What's the show that they have at Fort Wilderness?
Hoop-de-doo.
Hoop-de-doo. Yes. So that's something I would like to do. Why? Because we haven't done it, and it would be different. And the people who do it that we've heard, they really like it. It's a lot of fun.
It does get good reviews.
Right? So why can't we do it just for something different to do? We went horseback riding there. We saw the
did.
stables there. So I think at some point in time, whenever
You'd like
we
to
go,
do that?
I would like to do
Okay.
that. Yes. So...
Well,
just saying.
and we will
try
have to-
something different at Disney. You always say that.
That's
Think
true.
outside of the box.
That's
try
true.
something different. It's one of the
That's
things
true
we've not
because
done
Disney
before.
is so much more than the 4 theme parks and 2 water
Yes.
parks.
Yes.
But we also will have to get dinner that night, and I think we're just tossing around Three Bridges or Toledo, possibly
Again, at
Saturday
Destino
night.
Tower.
Yeah, it just depends how hungry we are, what we're feeling, but it'll most likely be something quick before we head off for a night of drinking and piano.
Well, especially
dueling
after Whispering
pianos.
Canyon, we'll probably
Yeah.
eat a lot there. So I don't have to do anything heavy for dinner. So something quick would be
Yes.
good. Yeah.
So Sunday, I'm sure we'll all be sleeping in a little bit because we will be real tired. But Sunday, we have reservations at Wolfgang Puck's.
At Disney Springs.
Yes, because we've been very surprised the last couple times we've been there. It doesn't get a lot of love, and we've had really good service and really good food.
Yeah.
And we just learned that they have unlimited mimosas, and I think it's $15 or $20 a person. So we're going to start the day off with some drinks and food, and then we have tickets to go to Animal Kingdom for the day.
That's on Sunday.
Yes. Again, we have no dinner plans. We might pop in Nomad Lounge. We might go back and have something at Three Bridges. it doesn't matter. We're just going to enjoy the day, and wherever it takes us, it takes us. We don't have to get things done.
Spending time with friends. We're just kind of hanging out.
We'd like to go to Dawa Bar.
No, there you go.
And get a bloody.
If we're there, I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I'm sure that will most likely happen.
Yeah.
So
as long as it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
There was that one time a couple years ago where we finished. This is when we did the tour.
We did the
Savor the Savannah
tour.
Yeah. And after we're getting back in, and as we're getting off, it started sprinkling a little bit, which then turned into a waterfall. And we made it, so it's where Kilimanjaro Safari is.
Yeah.
So you get off there, and as you know, the way Africa is set up there, Dawa Bar is right there. So we made it to Dawa Bar, and we were going to have a drink, and it just was nonstop.
There was probably like 2 feet of water.
Looking at the radar, I said, this is not stopping anytime soon, so we just need to go. And there's no going fast or going slow. It doesn't matter. You're going to be wet regardless.
I lost a good pair of shoes that night.
Oh my gosh, man. It was just crazy. So, yes, hopefully it won't rain this time.
Yeah, so, I would like to see, I've never seen the puppets. Is it the menagerie puppets? It's like they've got a big polar bear and a reindeer and a penguin. They're like white puppets.
Oh, is that for the holidays?
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't see that a little bit. It was 2 years ago when we were there in December.
I know. No, we were actually there in January.
And they still had it in January?
They still had the Christmas decorations up, but they weren't doing the puppets anymore. So I'm really hoping to catch a glimpse of them because they're so freaking cute and I've never seen them in person.
Maybe I'm just, okay, so this is the thing about getting older. Did it really happen or did I dream it?
No, remember it was when we did the Animal Kingdom After Hours and we were able to walk on and off Flight of Passage like 2 or 3 times. And we took that picture and my boobs looked lopsided. I had on a blue t-shirt. Remember, we can use any of those. I'm just being serious. Remember the pictures?
I don't know if I remember that.
So anyway, it was an after hours event, and that night, as we were leaving, they were taking down the Christmas tree.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that was the same night.
That they had the puppet things?
No, they didn't have the puppets because they were done. They only go through like December, but they had all the Christmas decorations.
Yeah, no.
Minus the puppets.
Okay, well, besides the Christmas decorations and your lopsided boobs, I have no idea where that came from.
It was when we met Mickey and Minnie.
Okay, well, anyway, I was going to say, again, do you remember it? Did it really happen, or did you dream it?
No, it
did I really
happened.
See these Christmas puppets, or did I just
probably
see
saw
it in
them
a
in somebody else's vlog.
Exactly, that's what I was getting at. Did I see it on a video?
I want to see them in real life.
Or did I see it in real life? I don't know. Okay, so maybe we'll see them in real life this time. And I'll shoot the video myself, and someone else could be confused with whether they saw it in real life or they saw it in our video. I don't know. Lopsided boobs, really? What?
Yeah, that's what I remember. I'll show you the pictures. I'll pull them up on my phone.
Okay, you kept them.
Yeah.
Okay. We just didn't use them in a vlog.
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, Madonna mia. All right. Well, anyway, so...
Literally, my boobs look like this. Like, one was
Why?
Like I don't know.
Did you have the wrong bra on?
I don't
do
know.
I need to know this?
I don't know.
Oh,
Just thought I'd share. So anyway, that website
That's the other thing
Sunday.
about getting older. Things get lopsided.
They do.
I just don't even know. Okay.
So Monday we have reservations at Homecoming.
This is why I drink so much. Anyway, so yes, Homecoming. Homecoming is great.
And we also want to see the Christmas tree trail at Disney Springs because that's something we haven't done in maybe a couple of years.
Yeah, I remember we did that a few years ago.
Yeah, so we'd like to do that. I want to stop at Jack Lindsay's because some of the holiday offerings look amazing to me, the drinks and the food. So I'm hoping that we'll have time probably after Homecoming to try them. But yeah, that's on my list. And then Ariane and Steve are going to Jollywood Nights. Joe and I are not going to Jollywood Nights, but we have reservations at Maya Grill for dinner because we really liked it. I think we were there like a year and a half ago, and they play live music, and the margaritas are great, and it's in our hotel.
Yeah.
So we're going to grab some nachos and margs, and then we have reservations a couple hours later at Beaches and Cream to get some ice cream because we actually had reservations last July and we canceled them. So I would like to do that unless we're too drunk and not feeling the ice cream or full, and then we cancel it. But we do have that booked right now.
All right.
And who knows where we'll end up Monday night. We may end up at Geyser Point at some point.
You never know.
I don't know.
You never know.
That's the nice thing about not really having a huge Disney plan is you can modify it as you go.
On a whim.
It's nice not to be committed to things,
Yeah.
you know. And sometimes we do book reservations and cancel them because we're just not feeling it.
Yeah. But you have to do that 2 hours in advance?
Yes. Which is better than it used to be, like 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would bring us to Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday the 5th. 5th.
I think that's the 5th, right?
So, I don't know how this just turned out to be a fate thing. But, so we have tickets at Epcot. Those are our free tickets that we were gifted. And it just so happens that Luminous, the new fireworks show at Epcot, is debuting that night.
Yeah, that's right.
So, if you remember from past vlogs, Joe and I were there for the Enchantment premiere, and we were there for Harmonious.
Yeah.
Both shows
Enchantment
we were not,
at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, we were not fans of.
And Harmonious at Epcot.
Yeah.
Now, the night that it debuted and we were there, we were caught up in all the excitement of it. The place was packed. All the Disney vloggers were there. It
was so crowded, and I'm expecting the Luminous debut to be no different.
Probably, yeah. Now, when we saw Enchantment the first time, I liked it. But subsequent viewings, I thought, yeah, it's okay. I really liked the ending of it, the cannon fire of fireworks across.
That was the only good part.
Yeah, so there were parts of it that I liked. Definitely liked it better than Enchantment. So I'm going to just say that. But this one, we'll see what this one's going to be like, and we're lucky enough to be there that night.
So we are planning on just walking around the food booths and doing some Festival of the Holidays, which I really enjoy, although I've looked at the menus and there is nothing that appeals to me this year. So, except the Blintz cookie.
Is there anything that is
like everything looks like it's made with salmon, sweet potatoes,
well, I'm
and
good with sweet potatoes.
I don't know. It just doesn't look appetizing to me. Yeah. Maybe I'll change my mind when I see the food in person.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, nothing is calling to me, but that's the plan for the day. We do have dinner reservations at Spice Road just because we know that it's going to be a cluster. If it's anything like the preview or the debuts of Harmonious and Enchantment, it's good to have a dining reservation because it's probably going to be like 10 people deep.
Yeah, but do we get a package where we're going to see the show from
No, and we
the
wouldn't
table?
want to see it from Spice Road anyway.
Right.
If you haven't seen those videos, Joe will link them in the description below where we paid for the Harmonious dessert party.
Actually, I don't know if I can.
And it was an obstructed view. Oh.
I don't know if those videos are still...
Yeah, they're up.
Are they still up?
They are.
We got... So what's interesting with what Disney did is that with Harmonious, they allowed us to keep the videos up and use the music, and we were not dinged. If you use copyrighted music, they send you a message saying that, you know, this isn't a strike against your account, but whatever revenue is generated is shared with the creators of the music, which was, I think...
They gave us the copyright a year later. It was a year later.
They let us use the music. Then there was a copyright sharing notification, but then it also came back saying that it was blocked. That there were certain places, there were certain places that would not be able to see our Harmonious video because of the music. I think across the board they went, okay, we're here now. We're gonna prevent certain people from using the music, and then from here it's gonna be blocked. So so I think the main Harmonious one, the premiere night, I can't recall if I kept it up or if I deleted it.
But we do have the Spice Road dessert party videos up, and we're obviously not going there to see Luminous. We'll go somewhere around the lagoon to look at it in person, but we figured it was best to have a dining reservation just because it will probably be nice to have somewhere air conditioned to sit in as, you know, get some food in us before we go back out into the chaos.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
And we're planning on meeting up with Chloe and Dan that night.
Yeah, I didn't want to sit at Spice Road to watch the show from there because it wasn't the best view.
We won't be able to because
Harmonious.
They are part of a dining package.
Right, yeah.
And
that's what I was asking.
Yeah, we're going to most likely be inside and not be able to see it anyway.
Okay, so that's fine. Well, we'll be done and get out and watch the show from there. And then, so with Chloe and Dan, so they're arriving on Tuesday, so we're just going to see them Tuesday night at Epcot?
Just for an hour or two, At
Epcot.
And it also depends how the baby is. You know, they're traveling with a newborn. But that's the plan. And then the next day, Joe and I have breakfast reservations at Steakhouse 71, and then we have to go back home.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, it's
Nice,
a quick trip.
Yeah.
I don't know what dining reservations are going to stick and which ones we'll end up canceling. I'm just really excited to see Ariane and Steve and Chloe and Dan and meet their new baby.
Yeah.
You know, it's always nice to be in the Disney bubble. I'm not as excited as I used to be, but you know, I always like it for the holidays. It does have that magical feel to it.
There's still something special about it, despite the fact that it's way overcrowded, it's way overpriced now. You know, some of that magic is gone, tarnished a bit, but it's still fun. We've had good times there, and it depends on how you do it. The July trip was, I think, done perfectly for what we needed between St. Pete and Orlando, and seeing friends when we were in Orlando, but then also just keeping it a little easier with hanging out, being in the Disney bubble without having to kill ourselves at parks and walking around in 95-degree heat. So I guess it depends. If it's something that you do once every 5 years, great. Deal with the lines, deal with the crowds, suck it up and deal with it. But for us, we've done this stuff so often that it's like with everything else,
I have literally been going to Disney World for 51 years. When I was a kid, we went every year. When Joe and I got married, we started going
before even we got married.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a year. We were annual pass holders for the longest time. But Disney made some bad decisions. At the end of the day, they're a business and they've got to do what they've got to do. But it just left a bad taste in our mouths when they raised the prices so much so quickly. Like every aspect of Disney was slammed with a price hike. Then you had, Chapek coming in and saying they'd rather have the guest that comes every 5 years and they'd rather not have annual pass holders. And that left a bad taste in my mouth because, especially Joe and I living out of state, when we would come, we would spend an obscene amount of money, between tickets and, well, the annual passes covered our tickets, but the price of the annual pass, dining and all snacks and the souvenirs and the hotels.
But, ultimately at the end of the day, it depends on what you want. It depends on how you're going to spend your money. If you price out how much it costs to spend a week at Disney versus a week at an all-inclusive, depending upon where you go. Someplace like Xcaret, Mexico, that's going to be more expensive. You can get all-inclusive for a bit less than that. So you could price that out versus Disney. But what are you going to do at an all-inclusive resort? Hang by the pool, on the beach, sit, eat, drink, you want to relax. That's great. That's perfect. You can do a certain amount of relaxing at Disney without having to do the parks, but generally if you're going there, you want to do the parks and everything else. So it's not a relaxing vacation at all. When you're dealing with crowds and waiting in line just for a 2-minute ride, it's like, okay, once every 5 years, great, fine. But there are other things that you could do for the same price or less. So it does depend on what you want to do. Are there other amusement parks you can go to in the country? Places like Dollywood, we've seen videos on that. I would like to go there. Right? So that would be less expensive. Universal is building their new park. You're going to have a lot to do at Universal starting 2025. I have thoughts on that,
and we've made comments about that.
Right.
But,
so,
yeah.
I mean, I think that's going to be a game changer for Orlando. Universal is doing it right. A lot of things are doing right. Disney, So anyway, so it is what it is. For us, we've had a lot of really, really good memories. We've met a lot. Again, keep saying this. We've said this many times before. We met a lot of really, really great people because of Disney. So, and more, if nothing else, more than anything, there's that. So we have a lot of good memories, and we just, shift things just a little bit. And if we don't go as often, we can enjoy it more when we do go.
Yes. And I will say, if you are a person who watches some of these vloggers that are media reps for Disney,
like they're the ones that go to Disney a lot, and you hear them say that they've been comped for this, or Disney has provided that, whether it's a cruise or tickets for whatever the event is.
I would be skeptical I've personally stopped watching
Certain
probably,
ones, don't have to say
I'm not
which
going to
ones.
say, but I've probably stopped watching 99.9% of the Orlando vloggers because I just don't think they're being truthful.
Yeah.
There's just I just don't get it. So if you are going to Disney and you are paying an obscene amount of money for your vacation, you deserve to have the best vacation.
And you deserve to have the truthful information
Yeah.
about it before
Yeah.
you go, so you can make an informed decision,
Yeah.
and not one that is paid for by Disney to put propaganda out there that is
Yeah.
not going to be 100% truthful.
This whole Jollywood Nights thing has just really left a bad taste in my mouth with some of these vloggers that I really liked and trusted. And that event just turned out to be a poop show. And I don't know, just make educational, smart decisions, and maybe watch some of those channels that don't go as often and don't have an invested interest, because I think you're going to get a lot more truthful information.
Yes. So there are certain ones that
And they're all a big group. They all know each other. They all hang out. They all got into it because of a friend of a friend of a friend. I'm not going to name names, but I'm sure you all know who we're talking about.
But you know what? God bless them for being successful at this.
I'm
if you
not
look
bashing them for that.
No.
It's just I want honesty. Like, even if I'm going to an all-inclusive in Mexico, tell me what's good about it and tell me what's bad about it. Just because it's Disney doesn't mean it's great all of the time.
Yeah.
It's good a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I have fun almost every vacation, but it's not always perfect.
So this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler, because we're doing stuff with the California videos. So a lot of those videos are going up. We're still in San Diego. We haven't even made it to the cruise videos yet as of this recording. But we did Disneyland, and while we were there, we were comparing what's Disneyland like compared to Disney World in Orlando. And one of the big things, again, spoiler, one of the big things that I noticed were the cast members. Disneyland, to me, seemed like the people who were working there were just local kids who were working at an amusement park.
Yes.
Walt Disney World, all of Orlando with Walt Disney World, you have cast members that create magic.
All
And
the time.
If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Cast members in Orlando.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Cast members in Orlando will go out of their way, above and beyond, to sprinkle pixie dust and make your vacation there as magical as they possibly can. So that's a huge difference. That, to me, is the best thing when it comes to Disney in Orlando. You get like the rides and the Disney bubble and all the rest of it, but your time there, part of it falls on you. What kind of a time are you going to have there? A good time or a bad time falls on you. But it also, when you have cast members that help to make things magical, that are nice, that are friendly, that get you things, that will bring you a magic bar when you don't even ask for it. Things like that. You're like, oh my God, you're so incredibly freaking amazing to me. So big difference, big difference. And that's always, to me, going to be one of the most magical things about going to Disney in Orlando.
I'm also going to say, although places like California Grill and Arcusi's, what's another good example? Be Our Guest. Although those are, more expensive restaurants and they do get a lot of love, I don't think they are the best restaurants by any means in Disney. I would go to those if this is one of your first trips. I think Joe and I should do a video on this, like some of the better places to eat and not the ones that get all the hype, like California Grill, because you got a prefix menu and you get a view of happily ever after you eat. I would tend to go to those places that are less talked about because they're always so much better. For example, Olivia's at Old Key West. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a hidden gem. Maya Grill at Destino Tower, Coronado Springs. It is a hidden gem. And some of the lower priced meals that you're going to get in Disney are some of the best ones. So just do your homework, do your research, and don't always trust people who have an invested interest.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be truthful with you.
Yeah, well, it's possible. Yeah. No,
I just feel so let down by some of these vloggers lately.
Yeah, but here's the reality of it, Jen. We're not big enough to for anyone to pay us to say anything. You know, we're we're there.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I know. Well, and that's why our numbers are what they are. It's fine. We do this for, a lot of the vacation videos that we put up are meant for, to put out
memories.
there, but they're meant for memories for us too. We got over 1,000 videos now to go back at some point to see some of this stuff, to go back and look at, when the kids were younger, when Gia was younger, now with Riley, or when we're long done and gone, they could always go back and look at these videos and say, oh my God, look at how dorky they were. Yeah, it's true. We were.
So anyway, that's our pre-trip report.
All right.
We hope you're going to follow along. The Disney cruise videos should be going up soon because we're putting up the San Diego, some of that content first.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert, Disney cruise, there's a reason that it was a fantastic experience, and we can't wait to share those videos with you. Disneyland, can't wait to share them with you because it was all new to us. But we hope you'll follow along on this trip as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss any of the next Jen and Joe on the go action, because the next video after this, we're going to be in the same clothes and we're going to do a haul for you because it's been requested and we haven't done one in a hot minute.
Yeah, well, we just haven't bought as much stuff lately.
Yeah, and it just, I don't know, it lost the appeal that it once had, but we have some stuff. We're going to show it to you.
All right, well, that's probably going to be a short video. All right, tune in for that one next.
All right, thanks for watching.
Or maybe before this one. I don't know. It depends on when I'm going to put them up. But, yeah.
It'll go after this one.
All right.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.